Turn our attention now to the latest on the war between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon. Worries from all quarters that an all-out war is possible. Israel now suggesting strongly that there could be a ground assault into Lebanon. And meanwhile, ABC News is reporting that the U.S. is now in active discussions with Israel and other nations to forge a ceasefire. With so many world leaders at the UN meeting here in New York, could something happen from there? Eyewitness News reporter Tanya Rivero is in the newsroom with the latest.
Well, that's right, Sandra. An emergency meeting of the UN Security Council has been called to discuss the situation in Lebanon. World leaders right here in New York coming together in the next hour or so to urge an end to the violence at the border with Israel.
Hezbollah responding to those pager attacks, hurling dozens of missiles into Israel, including one aimed at Tel Aviv, its deepest strike yet. Israel responding with a barrage of deadly rocket fire Wednesday, the IDF saying it has hit 260 Hezbollah targets just today. Lebanese officials saying today's violence brings the death toll since Monday to over 630, a quarter of them women and children, and over 1,700 wounded. Thousands are now flooding into Syria to escape the violence. This school in Beirut was supposed to begin classes today. Instead, it is now providing refuge to those fleeing the south. This family saying they traveled nearly 20 hours to get to safety. Pope Francis weighing in today, calling the escalation in Lebanon unacceptable, and Secretary of State Antony Blinken on GMA this morning addressing the crisis.
People who lived in northern Israel had to flee their homes. Homes were destroyed, villages were destroyed, about 70,000 Israelis. Israel started responding. You have Lebanese in southern Lebanon who've also had to flee their homes. We want to see people get back to their homes. The best way to do that is through a diplomatic agreement.
President Joe Biden this morning on The View.
An all-out war is possible, but I think there's also the opportunity, or still in play, to have a settlement that could fundamentally change the whole region.
The Israeli army has called up nearly 6,000 reserve soldiers to the northern border, telling them to prepare for a possible ground invasion into Lebanon. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has delayed his visit to the UN by a day. He is now scheduled to address the General Assembly Friday.